My name is Justin. I'm a Canfield Business Honors student, also majoring in general finance, graduating this May in 2023. If I have one piece of advice for wherever you're at in your college career, it is really don't be afraid of trying new things and failing. If you're anything like me, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I got into college. So the best way of learning is just join new things, try new things, ask dumb questions, and every once in a while you'll fail. But the whole point is to learn how to pick yourself up from that. So thanks for listening to my 2 cents today, and good luck in your college career. Hook 'em horns.
Hello, future class. So my advice to you is to really read the instructions carefully. Professor Quiroga provides a lot of comprehensive instructions, so take advantage of those. Always visit him during office hours because he can give you some really useful advice. And be sure to use benchmarks in everything you do. They're really important, and don't forget that. Thanks, guys. Good luck.
My recommendation to future generation of college students is that you use college as a time not only to improve your professional and academic life, but also to improve your overall adult life. I think the best way to really achieve this is by starting formulation of habits very early on, getting a regular routine of exercise, picking up a hobby that you do on a frequent basis, working out and or exercising, getting consistent sleep, and having a good diet. I think all lead to better success in your college life and in your future professional endeavors.
I wanted to talk about recommendations I might have for this course. I guess number one is just, reshift your thinking about this course and its expectations. It's definitely not a regular class. It's not like an academic class. Whenever you're doing your paper, your deliverables, it's not for a course and a professor. It's for a board to develop novel strategy for a company. So yeah, that is my biggest recommendation and something I personally struggled with and had to learn. What else? I don't know, get to know your group well. My group met in person, and I found that was super helpful for us. I'm not very good at working on Zoom, and I don't think any of my team members enjoyed that as well. But in order to get to the finish line and build that, rapport with each other, working together in person really helped. So yeah, those are my 2 recommendations for this course. Good luck, everyone. Okay, I'm done.
There are several recommendations I have for the next generation of students in order to be successful in this class. First, one thing I would recommend is to start every project or every assignment very early or as soon as the professor assigns it. This allows you to do a few things. First, it allows you to ask the professor for help on anything you're confused about or anything you might need clarification on. And second, it allows you to even present your final write-up or your final presentation to the professor before the actual deadline in order to receive feedback on things you can improve or things you can change before you present it to the class. Second, I would strongly recommend that whenever you select your company for the final project or for any intermediate presentations, it's extremely helpful to perform interviews of current or past employees, especially if you can get hold of VPs or even executive level members. They have kind of an insider's perspective of the company as to what work is going on, what challenges they face on a daily basis, and what avenues the company is looking to invest in or what spaces it's looking to diversify into. All of these aspects of information are crucial in order to understand the company's overall strategy and help you get a better feel for what they can improve and what they are already doing very well. Finally, I would greatly recommend that, in general, it's important to divide up work between all the group members equally. Some of the projects in this class can have a lot of different aspects and be very multidimensional, so it's important to play to each member's strengths. If one member is good at speaking, then maybe they should take the more difficult or more intricate parts of the presentation, and if one member is better at making slides, they should focus on that. This way, everyone gets to play to their strengths and does an equal part in the success of the final product. And with that, best of luck with this class, and be sure to have fun.
The management capstone class is definitely a great opportunity to really learn more about how to think strategically about a business, as well as the different functions within that business. I would say that there's two main pieces of advice that I have for students who are taking this course. The first thing is that it's really important to keep good communication with your team members, because throughout the semester you spend a lot of time working with your group mates, and so just like preparing your paper as well as preparing presentations, and it's really important to constantly communicate with your team members about when you're meeting and about deadlines and the direction of your overall project, because this will help everyone be on the same page. And then the second most important piece of advice I have is to just allocate your time wisely, because it is a pretty time-consuming class with a lot of deadlines when it comes to cases or presentations or papers, and it's important to start early so that you have enough time to really do a good job on everything and to really make all of your slides look good, as well as to have enough time to practice presenting with your team members, because that's also important to having a good in-class presentation. And so I would say those are the two main pieces of advice that I have, and just to really try and be intentional and engage with all elements of the course, and try and just soak up as much information as possible.
So my advice for the next class in management is to definitely focus on the final project, work on really practicing your presentation skills and public speaking, and also make sure that you're working on paper really diligently with your group. I think that honestly focusing on teamwork and collaboration is really key to doing well in this class.
Hey everyone, I wanted to share some few thoughts on how to be successful in the MAN 374H class. First, I'd like to take the time to mention that this is an ultra super complex strategy course, and very extremely different from any other course you have taken in the past. Please take all your previous course experience and store it away so it doesn't affect how you perform in this class. Make sure to pay attention to Professor Quiroga, as he brings decades of strategy experience and is going to show you an amazing time with strategy. Do all your classwork on time so that you can be good contributors to the class discussion and finish your project early. Professor Quiroga always offers great advice to groups that ask him, so be sure to ask him in advance on feedback on the work that you are submitting so that you can do as best as possible. Finally, the goal of this course is to have fun, and strategy is quite challenging, so the best way to have a good time in this class is to just have fun and work hard. Best of luck in this course, and I hope that the odds are ever in your favor.
The Strategic Management Capstone class is actually a really great class for PhD students and business students in general to compile all the knowledge that they've learned across their 4 years here at McCombs. I think the best part about this class is that really all different majors and different people of different backgrounds can come together in a team and create a diverse perspective on a company and kind of see how the company is struggling and how to diagnose some of its problems and also just overcome them through strategic objectives. So the first part of the class really focused on Professor Quiroga walking you through how to understand a lot of these strategic objectives and kind of see where benefits can be realized. And then he also walks through case studies of amazing companies and how they've overcome challenges in the past. I think my favorite part about the class is definitely learning from Professor Quiroga's wisdom and also his industry experience. And I think the best part is to lean into this and tap into his industry experience earlier and just kind of gain a lot of knowledge from him by asking a lot of questions and being really curious. I think the latter half of the class was really interesting because then we got to talk with people at the company that we ended up choosing for our capstone project and learn from them. And in general, this process helped us understand how companies withstand amazing changes, since the world is such a fast-paced, changing place, and also learn about how to solve some of the problems and how to help companies overcome kind of a stagnant mindset. So overall, I think this class is really great because you get to get closer to a lot of your CBH peers, but also because it helps you understand how the fast-changing world can cope with companies of massive scale and how companies can keep up with that. So this class is really exciting, and you should just harness it as much as you can.
My advice to future students would be in Management 374 to go to office hours and ask for help early from both the professor and the TA if they're confused on assignments, especially with the company analysis project, which will be conducted throughout the semester. I would really encourage asking questions about the final presentation and final paper, and really understanding from the professor, who has a lot of experience in complex strategic business decisions in the real world, in order to apply those lessons into your own company that you are analyzing and incorporate those specific guidelines into your final paper and final presentation. And the earlier you start on that in the semester, it will prove to be much more beneficial in terms of learning and also in terms of being able to get those assignments done.
Hello, just wanted to give my feedback for the class. So the number one feedback I have is providing a more structured way of providing feedback for assignments rather than just through email. Going through a thread of emails was a little bit hectic and probably a little bit chaotic for Professor Quiroga, just because there's so many emails in his inbox and sometimes it gets delayed. I think just having a form or maybe a digital system, maybe even an Excel sheet or a Google sheet to provide feedback for assignments before the due date would kind of eliminate a lot of back and forth. The second, I think, is the interaction amongst different project groups. After the first few weeks of class, we pretty much only worked with our group project groups. I think it'd be interesting if project groups could take turns asking different groups questions after their presentations, or maybe even just talking about the methods that they used and obstacles that they faced and whatnot in terms of actually creating their paper and presentation.
My 3 pieces of advice for future students. First, remember to start your project early. There's a lot of work in this class, and starting early means you prevent the risk of a big time crunch in the end. My second piece of advice is to choose a company that you're actually interested in. This will make the work more interesting and you feel like you will actually learn about something that you want to learn about. And finally, remember to believe in yourself. If you're doing, say, a SWOT analysis, remember that ideas that you come up with in your own head can have a lot of value. So don't be afraid to be creative with your assignments.